Here on the hottest day of the year in July, we went through traffic on the BQE to arrive where, Charlotte?
The Noguchi,
the Noguchi Museum in Long Island City, Queens. Isamu Noguchi, famous post-war American sculptor. Yes. Modernist shapes, furniture. I think he created this museum in his lifetime, and they're hosting a show by Tom Sachs, who makes things out of everyday objects. And the Tom Sachs show is supposed to be a Japanese tea ceremony. So this is the beginning of the Tom Sachs installation that we're going to see. So we're in this sort of semi-open, semi-enclosed shed-like space made of cinder block with a steel ceiling. And what we're seeing is that there are these Noguchi sculptures interspersed with these Tom Sachs objects. So it's kind of a dialogue between artists from different ages and different sensibilities.
Okay, so this is a Noguchi,
which artist?
Noguchi sculpture.
How would you describe it?
I think that, okay, down here it's like a smooth, rectangular sculpture, but up here I would say it looks like the back of like a stubbly head, like stubbly hair.
And I guess if these are little like pock marks, that would be achieved through some traditional sculpture method, like he might use like a chisel, like bang, bang, bang. This is a vantage point we have to get into a lot, and particularly in this show, down low. There are a lot of low entrance ways and little kind of stepping stone objects. Yes. What are we in front of, Charlotte?
This is a bonsai tree, I'd say. And I think that on the ends of all these branches, there's toothbrushes and Q-tips, like that's what's making up the tree.
Yeah, and the trunk of the tree is made out of like cardboard tubing that's all been pieced together. What I can't tell is whether it's just spray painted gold, so it's a kind of like chintz Christmas tree, or whether it's actually been cast in bronze.
I think it's been cast in bronze.
Okay, so Tom Sachs is getting upscale on this.
So this is a tea house. John Sachs.
Tom Sachs, we call that guy.
Your John.
Yes.
Okay. So,
it has these stepping stone thingies that are made out of kind of duct tape and fiberglass, but when you step on and try and go into the place, then it says...
Wait, okay. Yeah, it doesn't want us to enter the tea house.
Even though it seems like we should be participating in some kind of ceremony.
It does.
Or maybe they do that like on the hour.
I doubt it.
So inside this thing are these various kind of objects that have these sort of significant meanings. There's a digital clock that says, "Be Here Now," which I think is like an Oasis album title. So it
whether or not it was intended to be that way, I don't know.
But it could also be a Zen cone that is a truth. You are only inhabiting your present tense consciousness moment.
Okay.
You know that about Zen, right?
Sure. There's also like cameras filming this situation back here,
Does that
even
mean
though
Tom
nothing
Sachs
is happening
is like
there.
back at his studio watching like a nanny cam of the thing?
Probably.
And what's in that big case over there?
Oh, I was thinking Sharpie markers, like tons, like that are like stuck to the wall.
Yeah, that's a thing with Tom Sachs. When you go on his website, everything is Sharpie lettering. It's very distinct.
So this is another Noguchi
yes, because presumably it's a dialogue show. So now, when something is kind of like vertical like this, we call it anthropomorphic. That means it's almost like a figure. But does that look like a figure to you?
I didn't initially see that, but
well, the other one did,
I can get that.
What about some kind of ancient, like Stonehenge object of worship?
It has this same like pointillism almost like thing, and also with the smooth like kind of like contrast.
It's
a
smooth
theme.
surface versus the bang pockmark. I smell kind of kerosene fumes because there's a flame in there, right? But it's inside of that little kind of pagoda furnace. What is that made out of?
It appears to be like a cooler.
Right, like you would buy it.
But cast in something again. Something not bronzo, something else.
Yeah, so it's like a beer cooler, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like American trash culture intermixed with this like long-standing religious tradition.
I mean, it's also on a podium of like buckets. Like,
yeah, and there's all kinds of gurgling water.
So this is a pond, kind of like behind where the main show is happening, I'd say. There's like a wall separating it.
And it has something in there, right?
Yeah, it has fish.
What do you call those things?
Koi fish.
Koi, aka giant goldfish, right?
Yeah, massive. There's like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Really, there's quite a lot. They're living
there's
in
like
there.
a mama and a daddy one.
Yeah, and then like little baby ones.
Well, kind of like a school group.
I'd say this is more like Asian culture type thing, but it's in one of these massive stepping stone type things that we saw before.
Oh, I thought that was like a hot tub from like the Berkshires.
Yeah, it looks like that. We found this. It's a tennis racket.
Oh, you said I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Yeah.
It's art. Well, I'm certainly not going to fish out one of those fishies, but I just wanted to show what it looks like. So there are also rooms of things that seem like maybe they're related to the Tea Garden, and maybe they're some of Tom Sachs' greatest hits. These are like little bowls, ceramics.
They all say NASA on them.
What does that stand for?
I honestly don't know. I know it's the space thing. I don't know what it stands for.
National Aeronautics and Space Agency, perhaps.
Okay.
If you grew up like me, like a kid in the 70s, everything was always about the space program.
Yeah,
and I think Tom Sachs made a big space program thing up at the Armory on Park Avenue.
Well, over through this door, I don't know if we can go in here or not, but there is an astronaut.
It's a spaceman.
Yeah.
Now we're in this really beautiful upstairs air-conditioned space, and we're not really sure what it's all about. I guess these are Noguchi sculptural objects and some Tom Sachs kind of responses. This is the classic Noguchi stuff. They're the sculptures that kind of piece together in these biomorphic shapes that are surrealistic. There you see them like puzzle pieces on the floor. He also made that famous table over there with a glass top and those paper lamps. We're in this super hot outdoor garden.
Very hot.
Just Noguchi, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Bamboo, cinder blocks.
Like over here in the distance, there's some like sculptures, like a sculpture garden, I guess.
And then like these like little weirdo people from Queens living over across the street and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, what do you think of the exhibition? I think it's kind of like a little bit of a mishmash. I thought there was going to be some kind of ceremony that we underwent as visitors.
Well, I liked how it was like the two artists in the one room, kind of like reflecting each other, but I did, like, when you say something's going to be a ceremony, like, expect something to happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it looks nice here, and
well,
that's all
maybe
that matters.
Noguchi is a sculptor who's about, like, situational ceremony, like objects that suggest ritual without you actually doing something with them.
Yeah,